Hello all, you join me here with the 2005 Jaguar S-Type Sport, the new project that I've got here, and today I'm going to be cleaning up the rust. So you remember from the last video, significant rust on the pinch weld seams and also a number of holes in the seal itself. So what I'm going to be doing today is cleaning up this pinch weld seam all the way along with some P60 grit. I've got a sanding disc with my drill, and so I'm going to be cleaning up all of that, taking it all the way back to bare metal, because in the next few days I've actually got somebody lined up to do some welding to patch the large holes that we discovered. So I've just dropped the service tray so that we've got better access to clean the pinch weld seam from behind. And if I just move the camera down a bit, you can see just that it's held in by a selection of 10mm bolts. I'll get some new ones, of course, because some of these ones have been rusted. But you can see under here, just as last time, it's not too bad. But I just want to make sure I can clean up both sides of that pinch weld seam, and also any other bits that are looking a bit cruddy. So now I'm going to get on and start hitting that rust with a P60 grit. Well, the way down there, we know we've got a big section to be cut out, but otherwise just a bit of surface rust. I have found some more holes here though, so that's going to have to be welded as well, but that'll do. Okay, the service tray on the driver's side's come off, all well and good. And here you can see I've taken a battery cover off here, and I've taken the opportunity to sand this down a little bit because this is quite rusty. Again, you can see the seam, or the pinch weld seam, is pretty rusty. It's only when you really get down to here that things go a little bit due south. So here we've got a fresh bit of metal let into the seam. So last time you would have seen this would have had a series of rather large rusty holes, but that's now been cut out and fresh metal let in, and that's now been undersealed. This is on the driver's side, the right hand side. You remember we had a big hole here, and again this has all been, you see the patches of metal and fresh metal we've put in there. I think it's 1mm. And then if I come under here, there was also a massive hole under here, that's now gone. Patched in some metal there, and also down here as well, which means we're structurally sound. On this side of the lip, the pinch weld seam, we actually put in 1.5mm stainless, so that's just because it's structural down there. Otherwise, all good. Coming under the front of the car, see here we've got our subframe, and you can see that the Jaguar rust prevention system, i.e. the oil leak, has done its job and has kept that in pretty good condition. We know we've got a oil leak with one of the cam cover gaskets, so I suspect there may be another more discreet oil leak somewhere, but that's fine. Coming down here to the legs, yeah, that's fine. Just caught that in the nick of time. We'll brush all that off and make sure we treat that. Same for the other side. The other side's not as bad actually. So all in all, I'm actually quite pleased. We should now be able to start just descaling some of that loose rust, and then we'll be looking to start preparing those surfaces with some probably some gelignite. These are my tools for managing the rust. Got my can of rust converter, gelignite, and also a wire brush. So what I've been able to do is spray up all the vulnerable parts with jello light, and you can see here, it's that shine that's coming off there. That's the kind of the effect you get, and it sort of stabilises the metal so that even if you've got a bit of rust there, as long as you brushed off the superficial rust, it should actually make for quite a smooth surface. But the main area of attention, of course, is the seals that we've been working on. And under here, what I'm looking to do is I've masked up the top side, and what I want to do is, having treated this with jello light, and again I can feel, yeah, still a little bit moist there, but I'm going to do the other side first. And what I'll be able to do is, that's now stabilised the superficial rust, and now that will now enable me to look to spray both sides with some Hammerite Stoneguard, because obviously the other side of this pinch weld seam will be exposed once the cover goes back on. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to start on the outside, and I'm going to use some cardboard to stop any overspray coming out here, and then once I've done that, I'll spray on this side. Well, I'm quite pleased with that. It's not a perfect line, but I wanted to try and get a line going all the way down, kind of look a little bit more like a factory finish, even though these were painted rather than stone guarded. But yeah, that's not a bad look. I'm quite pleased. So I've done the other side as well. If you come under here, you can see I've painted some of these bits as well with the Stoneguard. So just in here you can see slightly better view. We've got the Stoneguard going on. So next on the list is this rather crusty wheel arch just here. It's not too bad. It probably will need a little bit of filler, but all I've done is just mask up around here. I've actually done a couple of layers there. I've done one where I fold it back on itself to try and give a bit of a smoother edge. That'd be quite useful. And then just another layer across the top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit this with, well, not hit this, I'm going to sand this with a P80, a really coarse sanding disc with the drill, just to get all this out, and then lightly do up here as well, and I'll see how bad it is. So that's been sanded in, sanded off using a P80 grit with my drill, taking it back to bare metal. I've just sprayed it with some panel white, which was going a bit dark. But what I want to do next is just run a Scotch pad across the paint there, and then after I've done that, I'm going to put some jello night on it just to form a good surface. And then after that, I think we may be looking at getting some primer on there, some etch primer for the metal bit and primer for the rest of it, and then we'll build up onto some base coat. So there's two layers of etch primer on here, always handy for sort of vertical surfaces and plain metal. So that's had two coats, and what I'm going to do next is just run the drill bit over it with a P600 just to smooth it out. We should be in a position after that where we can start applying the base coat. So I'm going to apply the first base coat. It's been about 20 minutes since we did the primer etch, or the etch primer. So let's get this into here. There we go, that on there, and then straight on here. There we go. So 2 coats of base coat were put on, 15 minutes apart, and then I allowed another 15 minutes before prepping with the clear coat. So just a standard clear coat, sprayed on that. I'm not going to do multiple layers, just going to do the one, that'll be good enough. So the next thing is to let that flash off and then start removing the masking material. So the clear coat's been applied, and if I just move up, pan up here, not a bad job. I'm not sure if it's coming out on camera, but there is a slight line where the old paint meets the new. But what I intend to do in a few days time, perhaps once the clear coat's had a chance to settle and harden off, I think what I'll do is I'll use some Mazerna red and just blend in the paint using a heavy cut compound, and then I think that'll all be good. But it's certainly a big improvement, I think you'll agree, on the previous state of affairs where we had the big bubbling rust on here. So I'm actually quite pleased with that job. That's not bad. It's not perfect, and I know I need to blend the line in, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with that. So I think I'll call it time. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider giving a like, and if you're not already, perhaps consider subscribing. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.